I'm Evelyn Hiles. I'm Guyanese, South America. And I came to London in the 60s. And I didn't like it very much. I went into Balham.
Okay.
And why I didn't like it is because it was one room, my husband and I, one room.
Wow.
And I was not accustomed to that. So I was a bit kind of angry about it, and we spoke about it, and I said to him, well, I wanted to go back home, because we were he came and spent 6 months and I follow after. And I said I wanted to go back home, and he said, no, you can't do that, you have to stay and try. So I stayed. And then eventually we bought somewhere, about a year after we bought some, because the places were very cheap. So we got somewhere. So I lived in West Norwood as well. I lived there for about 5 years. And then I moved from West Norwood and came back to, where did I come? Back to Balham. I move a lot, and from Balham I went to Northampton. I didn't like that at all. It was too quiet. It was real, to me it was real country, and I didn't like it. And then I came back to Dulwich, and I seemed to like that very much. It was quiet. I got 2 children born in Dulwich. My daughter was born in Balham, and my eldest son was born in Guyana. I left him there and came over and spent a year before he came to follow. I didn't work very much because my husband thought that you have the children, you look after the children, and he works. He had a good job. He was a painter decorator, and the pay was good, so that was no problem. So I don't have much of a work experience here. I work in
You have the work of bringing up the children though.
Yeah. Well, his pay was good, and we had our own place.
Yeah.
So that was good, that in Balham, and there was places that you could take the children and go with the children, and I made a few friends there. So that was fine. But then I find it was a bit lonely as well, because the kids were small, they can't see much to you. You play all day with the kids, you cook and clean and things like that. And I tried to find a job, and when I did find one, he was very angry about it, but I didn't take any notice.
Really?
Yes, because he said you have to pay somebody to look after the kids, because he couldn't do shift on painting, decorating. It's a day job, and he could go in from 8 o'clock and don't return home until 8 o'clock. But we worked that out. So I did a little, and my first job was in Epsom District Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, and I liked that. The distance was far, because living in Balham, it was far to travel, and the hours were shift hours.
What job were you doing there?
I started there as a nursing auxiliary, but of course you had to start from the bottom. You had to clean the floor.
Really?
And when I said I didn't understand why I should clean the floor, but I started there, and the hours were 8 to 5, and to get from Balham to Epsom District was a long trip.
How long did it take?
More than an hour and a half, and if you miss one train, you got to wait about half an hour for another train. So the sister there was very nice. She offered that I could stay in the area where the nurses stay. They put a nice chair. No, they put a nice chair. So I did, because you had to do split duties. So I didn't have to go home and come back, because going home takes me an hour and a half, and then getting the train back would take me time. And if I miss that train, or if I miss the connection bus from the station to get to the hospital, I'm in trouble. And finishing at 8 o'clock, they always let me out a little early so I can get that bus to get the train to the station. So that wasn't too bad either. So then I reside here. I'm here for quite a long time, about 43 years since I'm in East Dulwich here. Yes, I am here a long time. I like it. And I'm at this church. I like it very much. It's near 10 minutes walk, that much. I come to the church. And that's it, I think. My children are all grown. I have a daughter. She's a solicitor. I have two sons. One is in insurance, cars and everything, and the other one does what he wants. Whatever he likes, he does. So everybody's in a job. Keep my fingers crossed for that. And I'm retired now.
Yeah. So did you continue working as a nurse? Or?
No, I had to stop because then I got my second child, and it wasn't convenient.
Yeah.
It was terrible to find somebody to keep them. When I look in the mornings at the windows and I see the parents with the children in the pushchair and the snow on the ground, and I thought, oh no, I don't think I'll do that. I prefer to have less money and look after my kids. As I said before, my husband's pay was very good. The time that I came here in the 60s, the pay was good, the homes were cheap. So we had a home.
Wow.
There was no problem about that. But I didn't, and I haven't regretted it anyway, because I managed to see my children go to school, do the things they want to do in education. Nobody tells them if they say, I want to do this, and teacher would say no, and I say, you do what you think you could do, and things like that. So I never had much problems. Never had much problems. And I like it here.
When you came from Guyana, was it
very nice?
Was it you didn't come specifically for work?
No. I came to my husband. Because he came first. I came to my husband, yes.
And how did you feel about arriving here? And was it very different?
It was cold at the time, because I came in August. It wasn't too bad. But the traveling I find the traveling was a lot. And I find that people were very rude. Really? I wasn't accustomed to that. I'm accustomed if you go to somebody's home and you ring the bell, they come to the door, you say hello, or good morning, or good afternoon. And I couldn't get that from anyone, especially when my children was at school and their friends come. They would ring the bell and I opened the door. Is Sharon here? And I thought,
they don't come and say hello.
No, and then I had to say to the young lady, I said, good morning.
Yeah.
She said, oh, good morning. And things like that. And I always say to my children, you don't go to anybody's home, ring the bell, and they come to the door and ask for their daughter. You say hello. You may not know the mother name, but you say hello. Can I speak? Because that's the way I was brought up. And then it tends to change, because they tend to get used to you, and it changed. But I had lots of problems with the school, because the thing is in my country, the children are loud. If they're playing, they're loud. If they're at home, they loads a place to play, so you can run and scream. And here you can't do it because you annoying the neighbor or something like that. And I find it was very difficult at the school, because I always had to, when I take my child to the school, they say you can come anytime, you can speak to us about anything and things like that. And when the child come home, they don't have to say to me, I didn't have a good day in school. The faces show, especially my daughter. Her face, until now, she don't have to tell me when she's angry. I know when she's angry. Her face, you can tell, like a monster. So I would ask what happened, and they don't want to say. And I say, well, you must tell me, or else I can't find out what happened. And then I would go down. I never make appointment. I just go, because they say you could go. So I just go. And I ask to see the head teacher or whoever is a teacher, and I explain what the child say and why. Because it's always my child. It's never the other child. And it's
really,
I personally, it's two people have to make trouble.
Definitely.
I pinch you and you pinch me back or something like that, but it's two of us.
Was that the school was it in East Dulwich?
In Dockenhill. I had a lot of problems there. And Sharon went to one in Sharon went Waverley. And because Sharon was a person that loved her books, she never do anything in the house, her books. And once I find that, I leave her with her books. I never say, come and do the washing up, come and, no.
Yeah.
Because my thing was education.
Wow.
and what you want to be. I would like you to be such and such a person, but you don't want to do what I would like. You want to do this, you want to do that. And this was like that. But I was a person that would go and talk. I never phone up. Oh no. I present myself at the school in the morning with the child, and you're not going into class without me.
Yeah. So what were the things that have kept you here and wanted to stay here?
The children was one, because they go to school and they get to like the school, and I wouldn't move them from the school once they like it. And then I meet other people that I make friends with, because there are quite a few Guyanese around the area. I made friends with South African, an Indian lady, she's from South Africa. I made friends with her, and they're pleasant. So that was nice. And I could still go where I want to go. If I want to go to a party, I would go because it's a friend, and she'd say, bring the kids, so I don't have to leave them home, because I wouldn't leave them home and go, and things like that. And then I get places that I walk in the park with Madam here. Good director for the park.
Which park is that?
We did Village Park. Yes, good director for the park, because I walk with the Ramblers, and the places that she showed me in the park, the Ramblers never showed me.